This is a video that I'm not really looking forward to making, because I don't really know how people are gonna respond to it. So we'll just find out, I guess. Hey guys, so this is a story time about what happened to my Grey's Anatomy craft swap. So, since I started my channel, I've posted a video on what I was going to send out to people, and then I've opened my packages on camera. I don't really know what possessed me to open my package before opening it on camera, but I think it's definitely good that it happened that way. So let me just start from the beginning. Whenever I saw there was going to be a Grey's Anatomy craft swap, I was so stinking excited. It is literally hands down one of my all-time favorite TV shows. And there was one a long time ago and I missed it. And so, very excited. And actually, when did we get partner information? Just because I don't want to like say it was X many months ago and be wrong. We got our partners in May. The swap had to be mailed out by the end of August. Or actually like the first week of September, I think, for some. I think if you weren't international, I don't remember. Last week to like first week, August, September. Got our partners in May. So yeah, like 3 months at least. 3 months to come up with something, 3 months to make it. So the minimum was a medium craft and an extra. And it could be made, it could be bought. Most people did more. I definitely did more. So, and disclaimer, if this at all sounds like really bratty or like anything like that, that's not where I'm coming from. This is more of coming from a place of just disappointment and the fact that there was slight lying done. And anyways, you'll see. But anyways, majority of everyone a part of this craft swap sent more than just the minimum. And I've received just the minimum before, and it was totally fine with me. Like, you know, it's always nice to receive a gazillion extra things, but it's definitely, like, I never assume that that's going to happen. Like, if their minimum is super bare, that's what I know that's what I'm going to get, and I'm excited regardless because I signed up for a theme that I'm really excited about. So I don't really care as long as the product, as long as what I get is super awesome. So again, I don't really know what possessed me to open this package right away. I think honestly, because usually whenever, if you've done craft swapping before you send it out, on the outside of the box or the package or the wrapping, you put like hashtag Happy Mail, hashtag, and then you put like the craft swaps hashtag on the packaging. So that way, you know, the person's receiving from a stranger, but they know what's in the package. Because I mean, I shop online on like Amazon and I buy from third-party people all the time, or eBay. So, I wasn't expecting a package from like a third-party vendor on eBay or Amazon or anything like that. But there was no anything on this package. So I think honestly the reason why I did it, because this was like several weeks ago. I think honestly the reason why I opened it was because I had no flipping clue what it was. It came in a bubble mailer, like the really, really, really big ones that aren't like the papery kind. They're like the silky outside kind, like the, what are they? The poly bags. And it was one of the really big ones, and what was in it just felt like really weird. So I open it because I was like, I don't know what this is. So I open it, and it was my Grey's Anatomy craft swap. So let me go back a few days before that. Everybody, I was getting a message saying, hey, have you sent yours out? Whatever. And I was like, yes, I already messaged you. This is the shipping, blah, 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 whatever. And everybody was receiving theirs, and I hadn't heard anything. I hadn't seen anything. Like, normally people will take a picture of the tracking and just like post it and tag it. We were supposed to also be doing like updates of what we were making, and like not very many people participated in that part either, which one just always bugs me if it's my partner not participating, that I'm making for, just because it's easier if they are interacting and whatever. So the person that made for me literally posted like their mosaic and posted nothing else in regards to this swap. Like, I even checked like a week or so later after I wrote her and said thanks, and she still didn't even post like what she had made. So, which I also think is kind of weird. That's just me though. So I wrote the swap mom and asked if she knew if my person had sent it, so I could be like on the lookout for it, or if it was coming from international, like, it would probably be a little bit longer. And she wrote me back and said, I've been trying to get a hold of her for a few days. And then like another day or so later, I heard back from the swap mom, and she said, she had to send it a little bit late. It's on its way. So I was like, okay. So I actually received the package like 2 or 3 days later. The swap mom had told me during that part of the conversation of like, do you know if it's been sent? Blah, blah, blah. And she said that the person told her that this was her first swap. So she was kind of cutting her some slack because she thought that it was her first swap. And whenever she signed up for it, perhaps it was her first swap that she signed up for, but I looked at her Instagram, and she's been a part of like 10 others in the last like few months. So I don't know if she was like just getting into them like in May, and some of them just have like quicker due dates. I'm not really sure, but definitely not a beginner. I don't care if something is sent late. I care if it's sent late and it looks like you made it that morning. And that's what happened to me. So I received it. I opened it. I looked at it. I cried. I wrote the swamp mom, and I told her that I didn't feel comfortable taking a picture of it and posting it on my Instagram, but that I had received, and that I was going to send a private message to my partner and thank her. And she asked me, like what happened, what's wrong. So I told her. She asked like, I guess basically like if I wanted like an angel or something like that, and I said no. It is what it is. I told her, I just basically said she's not new to swapping. She's been doing it. She creates really gorgeous stuff for other people, and she just didn't for me, which sounds so childish, but whenever you go to her Instagram page and she's posting progress photos of all these other swaps that she's working on, and does not post one single photo of what she's working on for this particular craft swap. And then you receive what I received. I have a feeling that's why. And I have a feeling that she forgot about it and that it was kind of like an oh shit moment and she threw something together and called it a day. So on her Instagram, there's a ton of like detailed mini quilts. Like detailed mini quilts for all these craft swaps that she's working on. So I got one craft and one extra. The extra, I'll start with that. It is super cute. It is a hoodie t-shirt. But it's in super thin, stretchy cotton material. And it's in a size that I've never been, even whenever I was skinny. I've never been able to wear this size because I have gigantic boobs. Even whenever I was super thin, I couldn't wear this size. So I will never get to use the extra. Personally, I've sent clothing extras before, but I've posted on my Instagram the idea of doing it, and I only sent it if the person that I was sending to actually responded. I don't ever want to send anything to someone, clothing or like sizing needed type item, I don't want to try to guess what size a person wears, because on the off chance that you're wrong, you're out the money that you might have spent on it, and that person doesn't even get to enjoy it. So, unfortunately, I don't get to enjoy my extra, which was super cute. And I've already gifted that to a friend who also is a huge fan of the show and would be able to wear that size. Now the craft. So I can't say much about the medium of the craft because it's what I sent my partner. It was one of the items that I sent my partner. It is a canvas. It was a painted canvas. It was painted silver all over. There was clumps of paint in the paint, and there was clumps of hair in the paint. Like, hair everywhere, like in the actual paint and like sticking out of the paint. From looking at her Instagram, she has like, and I'm not saying anything because y'all know I have 2 cats. But she has like 5. And it was like covered in cat hair. Like stuck in the paint. So the entire canvas was silver with like hair and like paint clumps from not being, I guess, like painted out like smoothly in the paint. The decoration on the canvas was vinyls cut from a Cricut, and there was a sun, and it said, "It's a beautiful day to save lives." And they were put on the canvas, these little like Cricut cut vinyls, which there's nothing wrong with using Cricut cut vinyls because not everybody is an artist. I don't even claim to be that great. People like what I make them. Half the time I question if it's good enough. It is what it is. But the vinyls were wrinkled in a lot of spots, which either means she put it on while the paint was still wet, or she just didn't take time to put these vinyls on with care. To top it off, nothing was wrapped. The canvas itself was not wrapped in bubble paper or bubble wrap. It was not wrapped in any way, shape, or form. And if you remember from the very beginning, I said that it was a bubbled poly bag. Okay, so literally whenever I opened it, there was the canvas not wrapped, just in the bag, with the shirt thrown in there in a in a plastic bag. I guess the one that it got mailed in, and a note. Like, hey, and the note literally said, "Hey, I'm sorry I'm late. I hope you like it." That was it. I'm sorry, but if you're going to send a canvas to somebody, you need to put it in a box, and there needs to be a fair amount of something to pad it, because the thing about canvases is it is just a wooden frame with fabric stapled to it, and then you paint on it or do whatever kind of medium you want to on said canvas. It was just thrown in there. So because of shipping and it probably being thrown around because it's in a poly bag, the canvas itself was just ruined anyways, because I'm sure it got picked up by the actual canvas on the from the outside of the bag and just like chunked into bins while sorting and all whatever. But the fabric was super loose on it, and I actually even I was going to unstaple it on two sides and tighten it. But at the same time, there was literally cat hair sticking out of it, and the vinyls weren't even put on correctly. Think what you want, but I'm not going to put that up in my house. I'm sorry, but I'm not. So, I mean, honestly, was I a little miffed at what I received? Yes. Because it honestly looked, felt, and seemed like she forgot. She remembered whenever, the swap mom was saying, "Hey, are you going to ever send that package?" And threw something together, which is totally fine if that's the case, but at least try. I mean, especially when you're in your note, you're inviting the person to check out your Instagram site, and it's of these super detailed projects that you send to all your other swap receivers, and then you paint a canvas with cat hair covered all over of it and throw it in a poly bag like a ham sandwich and just ship it across the country. It was very frustrating, and if I honestly would have opened that on camera, I think I wouldn't have been as nicely describing the situation as I am right now. Am I looking for someone to be like, "I'll send you a Grey's Anatomy swap"? No, I'm not. Am I sad that I didn't get to keep anything from my Grey's Anatomy swap? Yes. But, and I had a moment where I was still really upset, and I wrote the swap mom. It was her first one to host, but I told her, I said, "This is no reflection on you or your swap." I said, "But this is a big reason why I'm thankful I'm not going to do them anymore." And that's so sad to me. One of my first introductions into this community was joining craft swaps, and some of my favorite people that I talked to through the cross stitch and crafting community on Instagram was because of craft swaps. And I've always enjoyed them, and I've always had such a great time with them, and I love making for them. But sadly, this is a reminder that not everyone cares as much as we did 2 years ago. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that I got really close to whenever I first started doing swaps, they don't swap anymore either. And it just really sucks. Maybe I'll give it another go at some point. I do still have my Return to Hogwarts that I need to finish. It ships out in November. So I am still really, really, really looking forward to that one. But I am really glad that I decided a long time ago that these would be my last swaps. You know, and I really am just glad to be getting out of, I guess, the drama of it all. As much as I love it, I don't know. I think if I did swaps anymore, it would be more like personal ones, like I'm doing with Dobby. Just because you know who the person, like you're focusing on one person, and y'all set the parameters and that kind of thing. I think that would be, I think if I do any more swaps, it's going to be personal ones, like my one that I'm going to do with Dobby. I think that's just what makes the most sense now for me. These blind swaps, they're not what they were, and people are doing them less because of issues like this. And people just aren't having as much fun as they were. And it's really sad. It makes me really, really sad. So anyways, that is my story time on what happened with my Grey's Anatomy swap. I hope that y'all don't feel like I was too mean or aggressive. Because trust me, I could have been way meaner. But I did. It was just disappointing, guys. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, hopefully not going to get judged too harshly on my opinions in this video. But like I said, I have no ill will towards anyone. I'm totally fine with the outcome that I don't have any Grey's Anatomy crafts at my house now, but I mean, it's sad, but I'm okay with it. But I wanted to let y'all know why I haven't opened up a Grey's Anatomy craft swap for y'all, and just kind of like my thoughts and feelings on the whole situation. But anyways, as always, y'all are a pretty forgiving and loving community, so I'm not really worried too much about it. But as always, if you like my videos and you want to hit subscribe, please do that. Oh my gosh. My throat just started hurting really bad. If you want to follow me on Instagram or Snapchat is Kellyanne86. And I will see y'all next time.